everyone! I thought today I could show you one of my very favorite science activities. We're going to make something really cool called Oobleck. Have you made Oobleck before? I feel like some of you may have made Oobleck before. Here's what we're going to need. We are going to need some cornstarch, some water, and I'm going to use a little bit of food coloring, but you don't need any if you don't want to use it. And I'm also going to use a little bit of oil, which is also something that you can use or not use if you don't want to. So to start, here's how I like to do it. I like to just kind of add little bits of each ingredient as I go, because I think it's a little bit more fun and scientific because you get to decide what your Oobleck feels like, okay? So I need to grab a spoon. Aha. Here's my spoon. And I also have a fork here because I think it's easier to stir it with a fork than with a spoon. So I'm going to start with some cornstarch. I'm going to add just a little bit to start with. Ooh, it's a little bit messy. That's okay though. Whoop. A spoonful. Whoop. And then I think I'm going to add some water next. I don't want to add too much water because I think that most of the time you need less water than you think. So I'm just going to add a little bit first, and if I need more, I can always add a little bit more. I use my fork to stir it in. Ooh, oh, it feels really weird already. I'm going to need more water because it's not all mixed in, but take a look at this. Ooh, it's super drippy. It's kind of hard to stir too. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Ooh. Now, if you decide to put food coloring in, you can decide whether you want to add food coloring into the water before you pour the water in, or you can add food coloring after it's all mixed up. Just make sure that if you do that, you use something to stir it up instead of your fingers, because your fingers might get food coloring all over it because it takes a little bit for the food coloring to stir in. All right, oh yeah, so now we have some Oobleck going. Look at us. Ooh. Now, if you feel this Oobleck, it's gonna feel kind of drippy, but also if you pinch it, it's gonna feel kind of hard, okay? Because Oobleck is something that we call a non-Newtonian fluid. Can you say that? Non-Newtonian fluid. Which means that sometimes it feels kind of like a solid, and sometimes it feels more like a liquid, okay? So, we have our goop. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil just for fun. Sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to play with if you add oil. Whoop, oh, I added a lot. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna mix it up. Oh yeah, it's looking good. And I'll show you what it looks like again before I add the color. I like adding the color last because I like to see the color kind of swirl as I stir it. But again, you can add the color sooner if you want to. Oh yeah, okay. Woo! Ooh, now it's kind of like slimier. This is a little bit of a messy project. So if you want to do this outside, if there's nice weather outside, it's probably a good idea. Or just make sure that you're in a spot, maybe your kitchen or somewhere similar, where it's okay to be a little bit messy. Okay, I'm going to add 2 drops of blue, 1, 2, and I'm going to add 2 drops of green. And I think that green and blue mixed together will make a really pretty ocean color. All right, we're gonna mix it together. Oh boy, it's swirling. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys. This looks so cool. Look at that. Swirling, swirling, swirling. Whoa, oh, fun. And it does look a little bit goopy because I added so much oil, and that's okay because that's just part of science. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna add a little bit more cornstarch. there we go. We'll see what that does. Oh yeah. It's kind of crumbling up a bit now. It's a little bit harder, which makes it a little bit easier for me to hold. And now that the color is all mixed up, I think I'm gonna try holding some in my hand. Oh yeah, so because I added the oil, look, now I can kind of hold in my hand a little bit better. And it's kind of fun to squish between your fingers. Awesome. So if you guys wanted to add anything else to your oobleck, like if you have any small plastic toys that you'd like to play with in it, or even like something like, maybe try something in your kitchen, like maybe if you have some rice or some dried beans, or I don't know, you can get creative with it and see what happens. So this oobleck is super simple to make. And I was gonna say, if you don't have cornstarch and you are not planning on going to the store anytime soon, that is okay, because you can probably do something kind of similar with flour or any other kind of powder that you might have in your kitchen. It is a science experiment, so you can get creative with it and just kind of see what happens when you mix things together. Now, if you don't use cornstarch, we won't get that non-Newtonian fluid that I was talking about, where sometimes it feels like a liquid and sometimes it feels like a solid. But that's okay, because I think it's just kind of fun to squish around in your hands and play with. You can pretend like you're in the ocean. Maybe I'll show it to Turkey. See if he likes it. What do you think, Turkey? Yeah, he's busy. I hope that you guys have so much fun. My hands are a little bit messy. Make sure that you wash your hands afterwards, and hopefully you guys are already washing your hands lots and lots of times a day. All right, see you soon. Bye.